Welcome to the 15-16 Math Curriculum Update. My name is Leslie Murto, the Director for Elementary Math, and I will highlight the changes to Edline, the math curriculum, textbook distribution, district-wide day, and a few other things. All of the math curriculum for kindergarten through 6th grade is currently uploaded onto Edline. Edline looks very similar to the way it did last year. The SAS is the first item that will be listed under Math. Underneath the SAS, you will have the units, then Fluency, RTI, and Enrich. The SAS also looks similar to the way it did last year. This year, the units are numbered with the corresponding name for the unit. Some units will have subunits within the unit. For instance, in 5th grade, Unit 1 whole numbers starts off with multiplying and dividing whole number prerequisite, which are really activities that they should come into 5th grade knowing. The second week of school, we start off with 5th grade curriculum, which is multiply whole numbers. Then we move into divisibility, divide whole numbers, algebraic expressions, and algebraic equations. You can see that the Unit 1 assessment is in the week of October 5th through the 9th. Now let's look at Unit 1 whole numbers for 5th grade. You can see that within Unit 1 whole numbers, it's organized and correlates the same as it is on the SAS. So you have multiply and divide whole number prerequisite, multiply whole numbers, divisibility, divide whole numbers, and you will always have the unit assessment down at the bottom of the unit. When you click on the unit folder, you will always have the unit planning guide as the first document at the top. The planning document itself looks very similar to last year. Based on teacher feedback, we decided to make the first week of school in 1st through 6th grade a review of last year's concepts. Kindergarten will have the first 2 weeks of school to set up routines and centers and pre-assess students' knowledge about numbers. As you look at the planning guide for the first unit in 5th grade, at the top, out beside the title, you will notice that it indicates the number of days this is to occur. If you look at the SAS box for the first week of school, it tells you the unit, and then it tells you the concepts that's going to be covered, so multiply and divide whole number prerequisite, and then it lists what's happening. So multiplication and division activities and the pre-assessment. If you look down at the bottom, you will notice that it's category 2 and that the TEKS that we're covering this week are actually 4th grade TEKS. The first week of school curriculum diary will look different than all the other curriculum diaries for the rest of the year in kinder through 6th grade. You can see that the diary has a list or a menu of activities that teachers can choose for students to do. We want teachers to administer a pre-assessment to students, which can be done early in the week or it can be done later in the week. By the end of the first week of school, 2nd through 6th grade students should have taken the pre-assessment test. In kinder and in 1st grade, it will take teachers longer than a week to administer the test. The K1 test is an oral test that will have to be administered to each student individually. You can see that the pre-assessment test is right below the planning guide in all grade levels on Edline. In 3rd through 6th grade, the third document you will see is a problem-solving model. This model looks different than previous years. We want all teachers and students using this model throughout the year as they're working through and solving problems. This chart gives you the rationale for why we moved to using this model. Although the math test was not released this year, the state did release the item analysis. The chart shows you the process standards, A through G, and the number of questions per grade level that were coded with that process standard. So for example, in 3rd grade, 3.1a was coded 37 out of 46 questions for a total of 80% of the test. Please take some time to look at the process standards and the number of items in each grade level. When the TEKS were revised in 2012, all of the process standards from kindergarten through 12th grade are the same. So I'm just going to refer to the process standards as 1A, 1B, and 1F as we're looking at this document. These three process standards overall in 3rd through 6th grade comprised of 75% of the test or more. When you look at the new problem-solving model, you will see that it is completely derived out of the process standard 1B, using a problem-solving model that incorporates analyzing given information, formulating a plan or strategy, determining a solution, justifying the solution, and evaluating the problem-solving process and the reasonableness of the solution. In the problem-solving model, we really want students to do three things. We want them to be able to analyze, draw, and solve. This page that you are looking at is strictly for teachers to use to help them determine if students have the right strategies for solving the problem. This is what we want students to use. We want them to understand that sometimes you analyze and you draw, and then you have to come back and you analyze and you draw, or you process the information and you solve, and sometimes you have to go back and you draw or go back and analyze. So you can see that the arrows are going in all different directions. Students process problems differently. As a district, we want to honor that students may attack or attempt a problem in different ways and allow them that flexibility as opposed to giving them a very structured way they have to do it. Teachers that came to staff development this summer were already introduced to this model. Teachers who did not come in the summer will get this problem-solving model on district-wide day. Because the first week of kindergarten looks so different from all the other grade levels, I wanted to include a sample for you to look at. In Kinder 1st and 2nd, you will see teacher notes that will help teachers determine what it is that they really need to be focusing on during that concept. In kindergarten, there are no prerequisites other than students are coming to school. Some of them have been in private kindergarten or private daycare, or they might have attended pre-K. The pre-assessment that teachers will administer for kindergarten is really just an idea of getting to know where students are. Since kindergarten spends a large portion of the time working on numbers, it is really important that the teacher knows what students know about their numbers and what they need to work on. Because the pre-assessment is new in both kindergarten and 1st grade, I have included a sample of what that might look like. We videoed Chris Bremer administering the test to a kindergarten and a 1st grade student that will be available for you and your teachers to look at. After the first week of school, the curriculum diary will look similar to last year. This year on the curriculum diary, we have TB, which denotes a textbook lesson, or DL, which denotes a district lesson. We have also included additional resources on the curriculum diaries for every grade level. This year, Fluency will have its own folder on Edline. This will give teachers more flexibility with deciding what their students need and how often they need it. The Fluency folder is divided into two subfolders, Fluency Practice and Sprints. The Sprints and the Fluency Practice are both listed by concept. If teachers really feel like they have students that need to work on multiplication facts, then they can go into the multiplication facts sprints and pick the ones that they want to use. We also have a folder on Edline for RTI and Enrich. We pulled all the RTI and Enrich lessons from the textbook, and we've put them into one folder so that when teachers have students who need RTI or Enrich, they can just go into these folders and print them as opposed to it being loaded on the planning guide. After the first unit, we will also be including the TEKS maintenance for grades 3 through 6. That has concluded our Edline update. If you have any questions, please contact me or your cluster specialist. There are a few other things that I would like to talk about. The first thing is district-wide day. Please follow the schedule that you received from the district on where teachers should go. All teachers will go to the site indicated on the schedule. If teachers attended summer staff development, then they need to bring all the documents that they would need for planning out the first 3 weeks of school. Teachers who did not attend summer staff development will get the same session that teachers got this summer, except on district-wide day. Because our summer staff development was in July, the staff development office has not had an opportunity to process all the sign-in sheets. I do not have a list of which teachers attended in the summer and which ones did not. Now let's talk a little bit about textbooks. This year, textbooks will be distributed to the campuses based on the enrollment cards that they received back in June. Both science and math textbooks should be reordered for the new students that you're enrolling on August 26th. Please refer to Message of the Week for more information about textbooks. This year, we are asking all campuses to scan their unit assessments. You will receive more information about this once school starts. The last thing is math staff development. Most of the math staff development sessions offered this year will be 1-hour sessions. Thank you for your time and have a great school year.